Julien Cohen. His name might not be everywhere, but his influence? That's a different story. How did pianists with such a mysterious past quietly shape an entire music scene? And why is there so little information about his early years? In the next few minutes, we're diving into the untold story, hidden collaborations, unexpected struggles, and the surprising truth behind his rise. Because once you hear this, you'll never look at Julien Cohen the same way again. Julien Cohen, born on May 15, 1993 in France, has emerged as a multifaceted artist whose journey intertwines the realms of mathematics and music in a manner that is both unconventional and inspiring. From an early age, Julien exhibited a profound aptitude for analytical thinking, a trait that seamlessly complemented his burgeoning passion for music. Unlike many children who are drawn exclusively to either the sciences or the arts, Julien found himself equally captivated by both. Numbers, equations, and problem-solving fascinated him just as much as melodies, harmonies, and rhythm. This unique combination of skills laid the foundation for a career that would later captivate audiences worldwide. Growing up, Julien was immersed in an environment that valued both intellectual rigor and artistic expression, allowing him to explore diverse interests without constraint. His parents, recognizing his exceptional abilities, encouraged him to pursue both mathematics and music, rather than forcing him to choose one path over the other. This freedom allowed Julien to develop an interdisciplinary approach to learning, where he viewed music through the lens of mathematics and mathematics through the beauty of musical structure. By the time he reached adolescence, he was already displaying a remarkable ability to see patterns in both numerical equations and musical compositions, blending logic and creativity in a way few others could. His early life was characterized by a harmonious blend of academic excellence and musical exploration, a duality that would become a defining feature of his identity. While he excelled in mathematics at school, often participating in competitions and solving complex problems with ease, he also dedicated countless hours to practicing the piano, experimenting with compositions, and developing his own interpretations of classical masterpieces. These two seemingly distinct passions were, in his eyes, deeply connected. Music, much like mathematics, follows strict rules, patterns, and structures, and Julien became increasingly fascinated by how mathematical principles could be applied to musical theory. However, despite his love for numbers, music had an emotional depth that numbers alone could never provide. As he grew older, he found himself at a crossroads. Should he pursue a future as a mathematician, solving intricate problems and making discoveries in the world of numbers? Or should he follow his heart and dive headfirst into the world of music, where his emotions could flow freely through each note he played? The decision was far from easy, and the path he eventually chose was shaped by a series of events that would redefine his career path and artistic vision. But what exactly led him to lean towards music over mathematics? And how did his unique way of thinking influence his approach to playing and composing? The answers lie in the moments that followed. Moments that would transform him from a gifted student into a musician with a vision unlike any other. Julien's academic journey led him to pursue a degree in mathematics, a field renowned for its complexity and abstract reasoning. His natural inclination toward problem-solving and logical deduction made him a standout student, capable of grasping intricate theories and applying them in innovative ways. His studies honed his ability to decipher patterns, structures, and sequences, skills that, unbeknownst to him at the time, would later prove invaluable in his musical journey. As he delved deeper into mathematical concepts, he became fascinated by the symmetry and rhythm that existed within equations and formulas. It was during these years of intense study that Julien began to notice an uncanny similarity between the structured nature of mathematics and the fluid yet systematic nature of music. Rather than viewing music as a purely artistic endeavor driven by emotion and intuition, he started seeing it as an intricate code, where every note, chord, and melody followed a precise mathematical relationship. The more he studied, the more he realized that some of the greatest classical composers, Bach, Mozart, and Beethoven, had embedded mathematical principles into their works, whether through harmonic progressions, Fibonacci sequences, or symmetrical compositions. This revelation sparked a profound interest in music beyond mere performance. He saw it as a form of sonic mathematics, a structured yet boundless medium through which logic and emotion could coexist. At first, Julien merely treated this realization as an academic curiosity, an intellectual exercise to challenge his analytical mind. He spent hours experimenting, analyzing compositions, and even attempting to write his own pieces based on mathematical formulas. But as his fascination grew, so did his passion for music itself. It was no longer just a side interest, it was becoming an obsession. However, what specific event catalyzed Julien's decision to shift his focus entirely to music? The catalyst was an unexpected encounter, one that would intertwine his analytical mind with his creative spirit in ways he never anticipated, setting him on a path that would redefine his future forever. The transition from mathematician to classical pianist was neither immediate nor devoid of challenges. Julien faced skepticism from his peers who struggled to understand how someone with a background in mathematical theories and formulas could find his place in the world of music. Many doubted his ability to transition from a world governed by logic and precision to one ruled by emotion and artistic interpretation. Some saw his analytical mind as a limitation rather than an advantage, assuming that his rigid mathematical thinking would hinder his ability to play with the passion and expressiveness that classical music demands. However, Julien saw things differently. Rather than viewing music and mathematics as opposing forces, he began to recognize the striking similarities between the two. He saw patterns in compositions, equations in harmonies, and structure in the very notes he played. Instead of simply memorizing pieces like traditional pianists, Julien dissected them as if they were complex mathematical problems, breaking down their structures and rebuilding them with an innovative touch. He saw the piano as more than just an instrument. To him, it was a grand equation waiting to be solved, a puzzle that held infinite possibilities. Each key, each chord, and each progression became a calculated step in a larger framework, an intricate dance between logic and creativity. This approach gave him an edge, allowing him to see music from a perspective that few others could. He could anticipate patterns within a composition before even playing a note, giving his interpretations a level of depth and precision that was both unconventional and mesmerizing. This unique perspective did not go unnoticed. As Julien continued to refine his craft, his approach began to attract attention from both musicians and mathematicians alike. His ability to fuse these two seemingly unrelated fields sparked discussions in artistic and academic circles, drawing admiration from those who appreciated his intellectual approach to music. But while his theoretical insights were impressive, there was still one major test ahead, proving that his method could translate into an emotionally moving performance. What was the first piece he performed that seamlessly blended his mathematical insight with musical expression? And how was it received by the audience? The answer lies in a composition that not only challenged conventional norms but also left an unforgettable impact on those who witnessed it, changing the way many perceived the relationship between numbers and notes forever. One of the most captivating aspects of Julien's career is his penchant for performing in unconventional public spaces. Unlike most classical musicians who confine their art to concert halls and prestigious venues, Julien takes a radically different approach, bringing his music directly to the people. From bustling airports filled with weary travelers to serene parks where nature and melody intertwine, he transforms everyday locations into impromptu concert halls. His performances serve as an open invitation for people from all walks of life to experience classical music in a setting free from the formality and exclusivity of traditional venues. By doing this, he redefines the way audiences engage with classical compositions, making the genre more accessible and relatable. His goal is not just to showcase his talent, but to democratize music, proving that it belongs to everyone, regardless of background, social status, or familiarity with the art form. What makes these performances truly magical is their spontaneous nature. Julien does not simply set up and play, he actively interacts with his environment, adapting his repertoire to the energy and mood of the crowd. His elaborate setups often lead to unexpected collaborations, whether it be with local street musicians, curious children eager to touch the keys, or complete strangers who find themselves drawn into the performance. Sometimes his concerts even become a form of social experiment, revealing how music has the power to break down barriers and create shared moments between people who might never have otherwise connected. It's not uncommon for a crowd to form within minutes, with bystanders initially stopping out of curiosity and soon becoming immersed in the experience. Some record the moment on their phones, while others close their eyes and simply listen, transported by the melody. But among all his public performances, one stands out as the most unexpected and unforgettable. In a location where no one would ever anticipate a piano recital, Julien set up his instrument and played to an audience that was completely unprepared for what was about to unfold. The reaction was nothing short of extraordinary, leading to a viral sensation that would prove just how powerful and universal music truly is. What was this unusual location, and how did the crowd react? The story behind this performance is one that defies all expectations and perfectly encapsulates the spirit of Julien's artistic mission. Julien's innovative approach to music has garnered him a substantial following on social media platforms such as TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, where he consistently pushes the boundaries of classical music in ways that captivate and engage audiences of all ages. Unlike traditional classical musicians who primarily perform in concert halls or academic settings, Julien has embraced the digital era, using social media as a powerful tool to share his artistry with millions around the world. His videos are a masterful blend of high-level musicianship and spontaneous creativity, often featuring breathtaking street performances, unexpected collaborations, and unique musical arrangements that merge classical compositions with modern influences. One of the key factors behind his success is his ability to make classical music feel fresh, exciting, and accessible. By fusing classical piano with contemporary elements, Julien attracts not only die-hard classical music fans but also younger audiences who might not otherwise be exposed to this genre. His performances often take place in unconventional settings, city squares, train stations, and even bustling marketplaces, where he transforms everyday spaces into mesmerizing concert venues. These public performances create a sense of intimacy and immediacy, allowing passers-by to experience the power of classical music in a way that feels organic and unforced. Beyond his solo work, Julien thrives on collaboration, frequently teaming up with musicians from various backgrounds. Whether he's performing alongside jazz instrumentalists, electronic music producers, or even beatboxers, his collaborations introduce bold new dimensions to his sound. These partnerships not only broaden his artistic range but also highlight the universal nature of music, proving that classical and contemporary genres can coexist in a seamless, innovative way. But out of all these collaborations, which one had the most profound impact on his career? What partnership pushed him to redefine his own musical style and vision? The answer lies in an unexpected artistic fusion that not only challenged Julien's creative boundaries but also reshaped the way audiences perceive classical music in the modern world. Beyond his public persona, Julien is a deeply introspective individual whose journey is woven with a rich tapestry of experiences that have profoundly shaped his artistry. While audiences often see the confident performer captivating crowds with his innovative piano renditions, few truly understand the depth of thought and emotion that fuels his music. His inspirations span a vast spectrum, ranging from the classical mastery of Chopin and Rachmaninoff to modern composers who challenge traditional boundaries. Julien sees music as an evolving language, one that speaks not only through melody but also through the unspoken emotions embedded within each note. He has spent years refining his craft, not just through technical mastery but through an ever-deepening connection to the emotional core of each composition he plays. For him, music is not just an art form. It is a way of processing the world, a bridge between intellect and soul. Despite his remarkable success, Julien's path has not been without its challenges. One of his greatest struggles has been balancing his dual passions for mathematics and music, two fields that demand immense dedication yet exist in vastly different spheres. While mathematics offers a world of logic, structure, and precision, music is fluid, expressive, and deeply personal. For years, Julien wrestled with the fear that he might have to choose one over the other, that his love for numbers might eclipse his artistic ambitions, or vice versa. However, rather than seeing them as opposing forces, he eventually embraced them as complementary aspects of his identity. This realization allowed him to approach music with an analytical mind while infusing mathematical precision with the spontaneity of artistic expression. It is this unique fusion of disciplines that makes his work so distinctive, setting him apart from conventional musicians. Beyond the intellectual aspects of his craft, Julien has also had to navigate the intense pressures of public life. Fame, while offering incredible opportunities, brings with it scrutiny, expectations, and the constant demand to innovate. The transition from an aspiring musician to a widely recognized artist came with challenges that tested not only his artistic resilience, but also his mental and emotional well-being. Unlike many performers who thrive in the limelight, Julien has always been an inherently private person, preferring moments of solitude and deep reflection over public spectacle. He often retreats into quiet spaces to reconnect with himself, finding solace in nature, literature, and philosophical exploration. These moments of introspection feed directly into his music, allowing him to deliver performances that resonate on a deeply emotional level. His ability to translate personal struggles into something universally relatable is what makes his artistry so compelling. But what exactly drives Julien's creative process, and how does he continuously evolve without losing the essence of his artistry? The answer lies in a personal philosophy that intertwines logic with creativity, structure with freedom, and intellect with emotion. It is a mindset that not only fuels his music, but also guides his approach to life itself. However, one specific event challenged this philosophy in a way he never expected, forcing him to rethink everything he once believed, and leading to an artistic revelation that would change everything.